let's get at it. All right. Let me make sure I have comments and everything up. I do. First things first, if you are watching on the YouTubes, what you're going to want to do is click on the subscribe button and also the bell so you get notified when new videos come on, okay? There's new videos on almost every single day. Some of them are live streams and some of them are produced videos that are just tutorials, okay? So you want to make sure that you're subscribed and that you've clicked the bell, or else you're not going to get notified when that stuff comes on. If you don't give a rip, then don't worry about it. But if you are building your business, if you are desiring to build income streams around yourself and your family, you're going to want to make sure that you do that, okay? So there is that. Let me go ahead and pop out of that. All right. So good morning, you guys. Good morning, Christiana and Rachel and Maggie. Oh, I've got you guys way up high here. What am I doing? Here we go. There we go. Carrie, good morning, Martha. Time for coffee with Martha. There it is. There it is. I've already had coffee with one group of mine this morning, Diamond Lane. We've already had coffee together and had some deep moments. So if you're in Diamond Lane, make sure that you catch that. If you're not in Diamond Lane, I don't know why you're not. I'm going to be very honest with you, because the people that you really see winning in my stuff are in Diamond Lane. And that's because it's extra like access and extra community and all of that stuff. So I would be in Diamond Lane. But if you want to be in Diamond Lane and you're not, just message me, email me, do whatever you want to do. We can get the links to you. You do have to already be in one of my programs in order to do that. So preferred HBR, because that's the cornerstone to everything. Okay. Let me see here. Nen, good morning. Morning, Morgan and Tamra. Anita, good morning, Martha. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Julie, happy Monday morning. Started out with coffee on the beach. Oh, yeah. Nancy, snowing over here. Oh. Good morning, Martha. Good morning to you. Mary, good morning from Ontario, Canada. Debbie, good morning. Nicole, good morning. Dana, what is Diamond Lane? Diamond Lane is my group coaching. That's like my additional, it's not much. It's like $97 a month. It is, all of the coaches that I work with are like, Martha, what are you doing? And I'm like, you guys, I'm making it accessible for people. I'm allowing people to actually be in it and can get coaching without having to spend thousands of dollars a month in order to have it. That's what I'm doing, right? But anyway, Diamond Lane is where I do 2 Zoom calls a week, Tuesday and Thursday, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I do a Facebook Live check-in where they have a place where they can ask questions, and I go through the questions and I answer them. So you're getting questions answered any way you slice it. Janet, good morning. Heather, good morning. Man, good morning all you guys. Debbie, drinking my tea out of the same mug. Are you? The same mug? This is a Lenexa Baptist Church mug. Is that, Debbie, do you have a mug like this? Or is it same sort of squatty mug? I am going to have my own mug, you guys. Mike may have been working on the artwork for it this last weekend. And it's pretty fun. So I'm just saying that. Anyway. Okay. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this real quick, and then we're going to pop back out into questions and stuff like that. All right, you guys? So let me get into it. So today what we are talking about is 3 easy elements of a great Facebook post. Okay? People get confused with Facebook posting. Some people don't think they're confused, but then I look at their stuff and I'm like, man, I think you might be confused, right? So again, 3 easy elements of a great Facebook post. Let's get at it, you guys. I forgot my bracelets. Number 1, know who you're talking to, okay? Biggest problem we could ever have when posting at all about anything, okay? Whether it's on Facebook or in an email or on a blog or any sort of writing copy that anyone is going to read, the biggest problem is to just make it's almost like where it's coming from you and then just going out into all of the everywhere. Worst thing you could ever do. Quickest way to not grow your business, okay? So what we need to do, you guys, is we need to get specific, laser focused as to who we're talking to. And when I say who we're talking to, there are a lot of people out there that are like, here's your dream avatar, here's your ideal client or your soul sister client or whatever. There's all sorts of different verbiage around it. And typically they have the same questions to go through. Let me actually give you a few other questions to go through that are going to be on top of the typical ones, because the typical ones don't really drive us into the heart of who we're talking to, okay? If we can't drive into the heart and the soul of the person that we're talking to, I don't mean drive into like impaling, okay? Let's be clear about that. I mean drive into their heart so they can understand like, oh, she gets me, right? Not she gets me on this level, she gets me here, okay? That is where we want people to understand that we get them. Not here. Who cares about here? Nobody cares about here because everybody addresses right here. We want right here. I want to serve you as a human being. I want to serve your soul. I want to serve why you are here. I want for you to be a new and different being because of the way that I show up and help you, right? Of what the world that I introduce you to. That's what, and I have to speak to you right here or you don't know it. Does that make sense? So, know who you're talking to. So some questions that you can ask yourself would be, and I have a whole bat signal training on this that is super duper cheap. You can message me or comment or whatever if you want access to that. But some questions are, how old are they? Where do they shop? How many kids do they have? Are they married? Are they not married? This is just drilling down. Now, when we're doing this, we're not drilling down on like a person we want to talk to. Don't get it twisted. We're drilling down on who we used to be. Not who we are now. Again, this stuff gets confused because people are confused. And then they turn around and teach it and they're confused. And it's like, oh gosh, now there's a lot of people confused, right? We're not talking to who we are right now. We're talking to who we used to be. Okay? So if you can drill down on that person that you used to be, say 2-3 years ago, then you've done it, okay? So what were you afraid of back then? What were your dreams? What were your thoughts of, if only someone could help me do X, Y, and Z? What was the X, Y, and Z? Seriously, you guys, you're missing the entire boat if you don't do this part. So if you're skipping over this part and you're like, I've done this exercise before. No, you've done an exercise like this before. You haven't done this exercise before, okay? This exercise is very, very different and you'll feel it because the moment you start to cry because you identify the person that you are speaking to, you've done it. And I guarantee you haven't done that before. Not unless you've done it in my stuff, okay? We are identifying the person we used to be and then we serve that person. You guys, it's why you went through that in the first place. There is nothing that happens to us that is some grandiose accident. We go through the things that we go through to be able to serve people in that space because we are not the only person to ever go through that. Okay? So, who are you talking to? Number one, who are you talking to? Again, this is 3 easy elements of a great Facebook post. Who are you talking to? And then you post like you're talking directly to them. Like that person, that you, that old version of yourself is sitting across the table from you and you are talking directly to that person. Okay? It's the main thing. It's, dare I say, almost the only thing that matters. Because if you're not talking directly to somebody, everybody else is going to keep scrolling. They're going to keep scrolling because they don't care. Because it's static. And there's a lot of people talking about a lot of things. A lot of people talking about a lot of things, right? And until you talk directly to the person that is yours, they're not gonna know unless you talk directly to them. You're just another talking head. You're just another person that's typing on their computer or on their phone. Okay? Until you're not. Until you're a person that cares specifically for them. That is where the difference is made. And that is where another human is going to recognize you are here to serve them. Okay? And then they'll stop and they'll pay attention. And then it starts. And then it all begins. Okay? Now, number 2. Number 1 was know who you're talking to and post like you're talking directly to them. Okay? Number 2, what are posts that you should make? Okay? Some good posts to make, like you're talking directly to them. Sometimes people make these really long posts and they're like books and it's very TLDR, right? Like too long, didn't read. They make these really long posts and you're like, oh my word, I can't, like I liked the content at the beginning, but I can't commit to 13 paragraphs. I can't commit. Even though I like what I'm reading, I can't commit to this. I choose not to. I'm going somewhere else, right? I don't want to read all of this. You guys, you can't be doing those really long posts on your public page. Now, in your groups where somebody has already opted in and wants more of you anyway, yes, longer posts are okay. Public, no. Don't do it. Stop doing that, okay? Stop doing that. People aren't reading them. You need for them to be shorter. And you need to make statements and ask questions that are going to be building your community. So you're speaking directly to your person, and then building community is doing what? Building community is not just one thing over and over and over again. We don't just talk about, one part of your bat signal over and over and over and over again. We don't do that, okay? What we do, you guys, is we entertain. We educate, we inspire. There are different columns, I guess, to what we do that sort of like hold up our virtual house here. There are different columns of what we do. And we can't just always be educating. That's boring. You're a teacher at that point and that's boring. Even though I teach stuff, you're not going to see me educating all the time. Sometimes you're going to see me inspiring to remind you of who you are and why you can do this, right? Sometimes I'm just going to laugh about something. Sometimes, like last night, I made a post and I'm like, who else's phone does this autocorrect thing all the time? Like my phone literally autocorrects correctly spelled words and makes me look like a doofus. Like there's that stuff that it builds community because it happens to everybody, but we can all just laugh about it, right? You bring levity to it, but then also there are some times where I'm just going to come right in and I'm going to say something that's going to shake your soul. And that's because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to shake your soul. I'm here to shake you free of all of the stuff that people have told you about yourself. All of the limitations you have been told, and because you have been told over and over and over again, you now believe. I'm here to shake you free of that. Okay? So sometimes it's a 5-word sentence and I just shake you to your core because that's what I'm here for. But you guys, if I do those 5-word sentences that shake you to your core 3 times a day, 5 days a week, it no longer shakes you to your core. Okay? So that's where I add in the levity. I'm also a goofball, right? And I'm okay with that. I think I've worn this sweater maybe 2 weeks in a row, right? I'm okay with that, right? I don't take myself too seriously, but I am here to shake you to your core. Okay? And then I also educate because I'm also smart, right? So I'm like, well, here are different things. Here are ways to be able to show up in your world, right? Here are things like the one today. Here's what we do. Here's you know, how to create a great Facebook post. Here's how to do that, right? So you guys, number 2, make statements and ask questions that will build community. So you're talking directly to your person. You know who you're talking to. If I say those 5-word statements and I shake someone to their core, I can't shake the whole world to their core. I shake my people to their core, my people that I share a life with, my people that we share the same thing. When I say those 5 words, you are like, I get it, right? And then the rest of it is it's all community building. It's we're the same. Let's laugh about it. Let's have fun. Let's do life together. Okay? So that's number 2. Number 3, you guys, the 3 easy elements of a great Facebook post is pictures with eyeballs. This is where we get tactical. So I don't mean pictures of eyeballs. To be clear, that's gross. All right? I mean pictures with your eyeballs in it. Human psychology, whenever we see pictures anywhere and we see eyeballs looking at us, it naturally makes us stop. That's a human condition. That's who we are as people. We see eyeballs and we look back at eyeballs. Okay? So, I mean, just think of how many times you see eyeballs. You stop and you look at the eyeballs. You can't help it. Okay? So pictures with eyeballs. So in these posts that you're doing, if you can also add a picture of yourself looking at the camera, you could do like a selfie or something like that. Totally do that if you want, right? If you're not at the place where you can go get a full-on photo shoot. Also, it's not bad whenever you get there to invest in a full-on photo shoot. Okay, I used to get a photo shoot every single month when I lived near my photographer friends. Now I fly them down every once in a while. But I used to get a photo shoot every single month because they don't cost much. Typically, if you get them every single month and you use the same photographer, they're going to give you a deal on it as well. And then you have constantly updated content, okay? And it's a business expense. Just saying. I'm not a tax professional, but I believe it's a business expense. I'm just going to say that. So, so there you go, guys. 3 easy elements of a great Facebook post. Know who you're talking to. Post like you're talking directly to them. 2, make statements, ask questions that will build community with that individual. And then number 3, pictures with eyeballs. All right, you guys. Let's see here. Let's see what you guys are saying. Where are we at on time? All right. Real quick, before I get into anything else today, I am actually running a flash sale, so I have to let you guys know. On HBR, it is half off today. So what you're going to want to do is don't message case study. Actually message the words flash sale to Livin the Dream with Martha. If you like the stuff that I'm talking about right now, this is just like a little bit of the stuff I know. Okay? I am humble, but also I am mega mind. Okay? I know a lot of things. And I know a lot of things that don't work, and I will let you know. If you ask me questions about things that don't work, I'll tell you that doesn't work. Okay? And then instead I'll say, okay, but you should do this. If you want this end result from this, you should then do this. HBR, you guys. HBR gives you all of the info and then also the ability to ask me questions in momentum calls, in the thread, in the actual group, it's the student group itself. And then also we have an email address for HBR students to be able to email and get questions answered, okay? So you will always get your questions answered, and I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's HBR. Whenever I say, are you ready to put rocket boosters on this thing? I'm not kidding, you guys. I'm not kidding. This is how you do income streams well, okay? This is how you do online business and income streams in a way that is allowing you to lead an inspired life, allowing you to lead a life of service that will take you places you never knew you could go, period, okay? Get that out of here. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. Miranda, what happens if you find you are talking to different people on different posts? You can have a couple or even a few different bat signals. You just can't talk to them on the same post. So you can talk to them in different, I suggest just one. Some people are more comfortable spreading it out, and to them I say go ahead and do that. What I know in the end is that they're going to hone in on one, but what they're doing is they're seeing which one they're going to hone in on. That's what I know to be true. What they think they're doing is just picking a few bat signals and running with it. What I know that they're really going to do is they're going to hone in on one of them. So that's how that goes. Kaylee, cut through the fluff. Yes. Somebody said it's hard for me to talk in front of a crowd. Used to be hard for me to do that too. I used to not even be able to go out in public like comfortably, okay? Because I had such anxiety and panic and stress that I would shake and I would twitch when I had to talk to people. And what I know about being able to settle into your back signal and the way that you're here to serve, I believe that the reason that before I was so scared to get out in front of people and talk and just even have a conversation and talk was because I wasn't living within my bat signal. I wasn't serving from within my bat signal, so it wasn't me. So in essence, I was playing a role of somebody else, and it scared me to death to play a role. Here's the thing is when you really sink into your bat signal and you serve from that space, you're no longer playing a role. I can't do this wrong. I have no judgment on myself. I cannot do this wrong. And you can't either once you really settle into it. That's the thing. Oh man, I'm over 21 minutes. Got it. I gotta go. See you guys later.